Good morning to my morning story time for children. Today I am presenting A Sandy Grave. This book is based on when a whale washed ashore on a California beach, and it passed away, so the authorities needed to protect it from whale poachers. And whale poachers are people that try to take parts of the whale and sell it for their benefit. So without further ado, A Sandy Grave. In the back seat of the car, Leah closed her eyes and breathed deeply. The saltwater scent carried by the warm breeze filled her nose. A short block from the beach, Leah's family car rolled to a stop at their rental house. She hopped from the car and kicked off her flip-flops, dying to feel the warm sand between her toes. Shielding her eyes from the sun, she heard familiar voices yelling her name. Squinting through little sunray twinkles, Leah saw Nicole and Haley. "It's about time you got here," Haley said. "It feels like we've been waiting forever." Nicole said, "I know how you feel." "The car ride felt like forever too," Leah said. "I just needed to take my bag inside and then let's head to the beach." And here you see the girls gathering and greeting each other, all happy to see one another. The trio walked to the beach. Shouts roared over the rumble of the surf. They sprinted down the wooden planked walkway over the dunes and stopped short. Down by the water's edge, a huge whale had washed up, and people swarmed around like bees on flowers. "Holy cow! How the heck did a whale get here?" Leah pointed. "Maybe someone caught it," Leah said. Nicole laughed out a long sigh. "Get real. How could anyone catch something so big?" The lifeguards had their arms extended and attempted to move the crowd back. The tallest lifeguard said, "People, please stay back. The authorities will arrive to examine the whale and determine the cause of death within the hour. We think the whale must have died at sea and washed ashore." The crowd buzzed with chatter. And there's the girls hustling down the plank walkway to see what's happening at the beach. Finally, a group of adults arrive, wearing visors, sunglasses, tan shorts, and black shirts that read Marine Biology Institute. Carrying what looked like black doctor bags, they approached the lifeguards and talked in low voices. The girls squeezed through the crowd in an attempt to get a better view and possibly hear what the new arrivals had to say. The scientists spread out their tools on a blanket. They stuck a tube into the whale's mouth, and chunky liquid poured out into a large bucket. "Gross! What a horrible smell! Worse than my baby sister's diaper," Leah said. Her stomach lurched as the scientist cut into the skin and put the pieces into cups with lids. Disgusting! Nicole covered her mouth and nose with her shirt. And there are the girls observing what the marine biologists are doing with the whale to help determine why it died. As time went by, the crowd thinned out. Leah noticed two men in filthy clothes hanging out on the sand dune. The pair seemed to be fixated on the whale. Leah tried to shake off the creepy feeling that was always radiating down her back and arms. Grandma always said, if something doesn't seem right, trust your instincts. Every inch of Leah screamed that she was right on the money. The men dug into the sand with their feet, dropped the bag into the hole, and covered it up. Why in the world would they be burying their bag? Her senses soared to a heightened level. She felt in her bones that those guys were up to no good. Leah shook her head. "Come on, let's go back to the house." The girls made their way back over the wood plank floor. They heard the group ahead of them mention the police needed to stand guard to keep poachers from stealing the whale's teeth. "Poacher? What's a poacher?" Leah whispered. See, and these are the men that they saw on the sand dune that Leah really did not like what they were up to. The girls pushed ahead and ran all the way home. Breathless from their run, they recounted the events to their parents. "What's a poacher?" Leah asked. "A poacher is a person or a group of people who try to hunt or steal fish illegally," Leah's dad said. "Why would someone do that?" "Because they usually can sell what they stole for money." After dinner, the families went for a walk on the beach. Their parents wanted to see the whale for themselves. Since there wasn't much to see, not many people hung around the whale. The scientists had left, but the police stood guard. And there's Leah talking with her dad, and he's explaining to her what whale poachers are. Leah's dad approached the police officers. "What's going to happen to the whale?" "Since the scientists are finished collecting samples, our crew will come out tomorrow to bury the whale. Unfortunately, we need to stay here all night to make sure no one else tries to remove any more teeth from the whale." "How do you know teeth are already missing?" Leah asked. "When the scientists conducted their exam, they made the discovery," the freckle-faced police officer answered. Over the shoulder of the police officer, Leah spotted a tiny amber glow from the sand dune brush where the guys were earlier. Leah's second creepy feeling of the day rippled down her back. She leaned toward her mom and pointed at the sand dune. "I think someone is watching us." Leah's mom glanced over her shoulder. "I don't see anyone." But there's her dad talking with the police officer. Leah looked back. The amber glow had disappeared. Nothing. How can that be? Goosebumps covered Leah's body. She rubbed her arms. "Why would anyone want to steal whale teeth?" Leah asked the police officers. "The teeth are valuable for use in scrimshaw. People try to sell them for money. It's also against the law to tamper with a dead marine mammal." "What's scrimshaw?" asked Leah. "Scrimshaw is a handiwork craft of elaborate carvings on the surface of whale teeth." "What happens to people who try and steal the teeth?" Leah asked. "If caught, they're arrested and can be charged with jail time and thousands of dollars in fines if found guilty." "Girls, let's go. It's time to get back." Mom rested her hand on Leah's arm. And here's a sample what the illustrator created of what scrimshaw looks like on a whale's tooth. Reluctant to leave, Leah walked slowly behind their group, wanting to check out the spot where the men buried their bag. But she jumped when she heard rustling in the brush. She quickened her step to catch up and bumped into her mom. "What's wrong? You look scared." Leah peeked over her shoulder. Nothing. Do you think anyone will try and steal the whale's teeth tonight?" "Nah, not possible while the police are guarding the whale." Nicole shook her head. "We have to get back to the beach first thing tomorrow morning," Leah said. "Why? What's the rush?" Haley asked. "I saw two strange men burying a bag in the sand dune, and I want to see what it is," Leah told them. "It's probably garbage. You know what pigs some people are." Nicole made a face. "I don't think so. Are you guys in or not?" Leah asked. "Of course we are," Nicole and Haley said together. And there are the girls deciding that they're going to head to the beach early in the morning. Early the next morning, the girls headed to the beach. Workers were already digging the hole with a backhoe near the whale. A crane was positioned nearby, too. Leah pointed at the sand dune. "Come on, they were over there." Finding the spot was harder than she thought. None of the sand looked disturbed. She stepped back and tried to figure out where they buried the bag. I guess where the thickest brush starts would be the best spot to start digging. They dropped down to their hands and knees and started to dig. They dug down about a foot, exposing a rope. Leah pulled on it, finding a burlap bag on the end of the rope. Curious, they opened it up, peered in, and saw huge teeth. Leah sucked her breath in. Thinking about what she'd seen, she heard a man's voice. The sound came down the pathway toward them. And here are the girls when they were deciding where they should dig and when they discovered the bag. "I had to hide it. I know I need to find it." He locked his eyes with Leah's as he approached. The man quickened his pace. Recognizing the man from yesterday, Leah held the burlap bag tightly and gulped. Give me my bag, little girl. He snatched the bag from Leah and ran. Leah jumped back and fell. She opened her mouth to scream, but no sound escaped. Help! Help! Nicole and Haley yelled for her. The police officers ran toward the girls. They pointed to the man and shouted, He took the burlap bag we found. It's full of teeth from the whale. And there go the police trying to capture the men. The officers quickly jumped on their beach vehicle and chased the thieves down. Hooray, the girls cheered, watching as an officer slapped cuffs on the bad guy. The sun glistened in the sky. The girls watched silently while the crew finished digging the largest hole they'd ever seen. The crane operator raised the whale, placed it in the hole, and covered it with a sand blanket forever. The lifeguards later told them that the man confessed and ratted out his friend. Both thieves ended up pleading guilty to violations of the Endangered Species Act and the Mammal Protection Act. To the girls' surprise, the lifeguards awarded them with free beach passes for the entire summer for their bravery. The end. And there is the whale being placed on the crane to be placed into the sand. And there are the girls cheering on the police officers. And I actually have a synthetic sample of scrimshaw. It's not actually a whale's tooth, it's just a mold. Let me see if I can get it closer to the screen for you. Yeah, so you can see the details. So like I said in the book, it's actually illegal to do that now. So that's called scrimshaw. And I want to thank you for joining me today as I read A Sandy Grave. And I would like to thank fellow authors Terry Cook, Maggie Grindle, Michelle Knott, and Beverly Stowe McClure, who will be sending me their books. So I'll be reading their books in the coming weeks as well. And I wish you all to stay very healthy and safe and stay at home, enjoy your family's company, and thank you to all the people on the front lines that are keeping us all safe. I really appreciate you being here today, and I see that Lisa has tuned in. Thank you for joining me today, as well as Mary. Thank you so kindly for your support. It was wonderful having viewers, and I hope to see you all again next Saturday. Have a wonderful day. Take care now. Bye-bye.